is going to be like something I'm trying out. I was thinking like the other night, I was thinking, wouldn't it be fun to do like a casual sit down video called maybe like Saturdays with Anya or like Fridays with Anya, even though I think it'll probably be like Saturdays with Anya, in which I talk about something completely random. I have a chat. We have like a, we have a kiki. That, like, I show a video that's like not necessarily super edited, but I just like ramble. I don't know. We'll see. But I was thinking that I could like post these videos every now and then if you guys are interested in watching these. If you guys are interested in just having a chat about like certain things, about certain interests I have, about certain musings of mine. This is like a more casual, a more like real, a more me environment to do so, because usually when I'm filming videos, I mean, I want to ramble, I want to talk, but then I'm like, wait, no. Like, people are not necessarily clicking on these videos to hear you talk about your life, you know what I mean? So sometimes I kind of like feel like I want to talk about like some other things, but I'm like, I don't really know if I should put this in like this video or this video. You know what? Like today I was like, okay, let's just do this thing called Saturdays with Anya, where I talk about like, I don't know, stuff. So today I have like a whole stack of books that have actually really been inspiring me recently that I want to share with you guys. So you guys don't know this really well, but I used to be super into fashion. I used to be so into fashion. Like, I used to know every single designer. I used to watch all the shows on my computer, and I used to be so into it. And I kind of like fell out of that because, I started high school and I started getting more and more busy, and I sort of like stopped being as interested in learning about this sort of stuff. I mean, I was still like watching documentaries and everything, but like I sort of stopped doing it as much. But I just started college and I went to the library and I was like, books, books that are not necessarily available in a high school library, books. And I was like, I went crazy. And I have been checking out so many books, and I've been reading some of these books and I want to share them with you. So yeah, I mean, I haven't like finished most of these books, but I wanted to share them with you guys because like this has been really inspiring for me, and I've really been interested in these, and I just wanted to share my passions with you. So this is something called Dressed: A Century of Hollywood Costume Design. This is a book that is super thick. It's a coffee table book, and it basically like has like all these different shots from different movies, and it talks about the designers. It talks about like iconic dresses, like such as like this outfit right here. This is Julia Roberts and Richard Gere in Pretty Woman. This was so iconic. This is so iconic. This outfit is so iconic, and they talk about it. They talk about like other really legendary parts of Pretty Woman. You have like Edward Scissorhands, basically talking about like the different aspects of costume design and everything. And this, for me, it's so fascinating, and I absolutely love it. And I haven't had a lot of time lately, but sometimes when I can't sleep at night, I just get up and I look at these books, and it's so inspiring to me. And if I ever like feel sad about anything, like just looking at this like makes me feel so much more inspired and so just like ready to conquer the world. So I haven't like read as much of this as I wanted to. I probably am not gonna have time to read all of these books, but I have been like reading like excerpts from each and every one of these books. But moving on to this. This is one that I have started reading, and I'm really enjoying it. This is called Vogue: The Editor's Eye. Now, this is a book that it came out, I believe, in 2012. Yeah, 2012. It came out in 2012. And when it came out, I was super interested in it. I was so into it. I was like, I wanted to read this book. I wanted to have this book so bad. I wanted to buy this book. But this book is $75. And that is way too much money for me to necessarily be spending on a book. That is an expensive book right there. So I couldn't like necessarily get this book, especially since at the time I was 12 years old. I was 12 years old when this book came out, all right? But I wanted it so bad. and I couldn't find it in any library because no one gets these kinds of books. Like no one gets these kinds of books except me, it seems. So I couldn't find it in the library. I couldn't find it at my school library. My high school library, it was bad. It was bad because no one read. So like obviously not a lot of people read. I won't say no one reads. I will say that not a lot of people read books in high school these days. So no one really wants to spend a lot of money on getting like these huge books for like a high school library. But when you go to college, then they have like these big libraries and they have like better books and they have like these kinds of books that you won't really find anywhere else, or in my experience, and I know quite a bit about libraries. So like going to college is amazing for me just because, well, not just because, and one of the big reasons is because we have a library that is so amazing and I'm so blessed. So anyway, this is one that I really am interested in. This basically spotlights all the iconic editors that have been working at Vogue, and it's just such like an eye-opening book. They have a lot of the iconic images throughout the years, and this is something that absolutely inspires me. For a while, I wanted to work for Vogue. I really wanted to like be part of that fashion lifestyle, just because I have my entire life been interested in fashion to varying degrees, and I'm still so interested in fashion. Like these are really beautiful images and they have like the stories behind them, and this is such like an amazing book, and I'm so glad that I finally was able to get my hands on it. I am borrowing these books. These are going to be returned, but I'm like so excited. Like these books have really been like inspiring me lately, and I've been obsessed. Okay, so this is a book that I have read a lot of. This is about couture, haute couture. It's called Haute Couture, and it's called The Great Designers. If you don't know a lot about fashion, then you probably don't know most, if not all, of the names in this book. But this book spotlights like the influential, the big designers throughout history, like Poiret, or Balenciaga, or Dior, or Chanel. Those are the basics. But they have like Worth, they have Charles James in this book, and they have like little chapters dedicated to each and every one of these designers. And the person that wrote this, she really just knows her stuff. She's really like just knowledgeable about everything. And this is like Balmain, for instance. They have like this old photo of him at one of his presentations, and this is such an interesting and amazing book. Givenchy. This is Audrey Hepburn in Funny Face. They have like these iconic images, and I've learned so much like just looking at this book and just reading this book, like because you hear about like the classics like Dior and Chanel and YSL. You hear about those, but then like you don't like necessarily hear about like the beginning, like about like the sort of like lesser known designers. You don't hear about them too much, and I was so excited to get this because I really wanted to learn more, and I just wanted to just soak it in and just see like how amazing these like designers were and still are. This is Grace, I believe. She's probably the reason why you get like all this like beautiful draping in the 30s. Like this is a dress that she created for 1938. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. And I know that some of you might not be interested in fashion, but like I love it. Like I'm not necessarily someone that dresses up in designer pieces. I'm not that person. I don't do that, but like I love the artistry and I love admiring it, and it's one of my passions. Like it seriously is amazing to me. And then this is Halston. This is like so iconic, of course. Like you can tell this is definitely one of my favorite books that I have that I checked out. These are beautiful. Then this is one that I started reading. I started reading this, and it's mostly because this is like one of the smaller ones that I have, so I can put this in my backpack and I can just like carry it around without breaking up my back. So this is one that I have started, and I am really interested in this. This is Andre Leon Talley's biography, basically. This is a really good book. I really like it a lot. I haven't really had a chance to get into it too much, but like it's a good one. I like it. This is one that I really love. Like this I was looking at just yesterday when I was like taking a study break. This is called Fashion in Film. It's kind of similar to the other one, but this is the one that I've been getting into more because like it is portable. It is easier to carry around, even though it is pretty heavy still. This talks about like so many designers. Like, okay, for example, let's talk about Givenchy. He did a lot of Audrey Hepburn's films, and they have information about that, and they have like a list of all the films, and then they have like sketches, and they have examples from his runway shows, and they have all these different things. And then they also have, for example, let me see, Lorraine Scott. She committed suicide, I think, a few years ago. Very sad. But she did like all these amazing films like Stoker and Eyes Wide Shut. And here's Nicole Kidman in her designs. Like this is such a beautiful, beautiful piece. And there's also this is Manolo Blahnik. If you've ever watched Sex and the City and you hear anything about Manolo Blahnik or about Manolos, this is him, And he also did Marie Antoinette, and he has like done shoes, and he's a shoe master. Like one day, if I'm super successful doing whatever I'm doing, I don't know what I'm doing, but like if I'm very successful, or if I'm successful, I would love to get a pair of his shoes. I'm not like into bags, I'm not into like all these designer pieces, but like his shoes are pieces of art that I would love to get my hands on one day. So, beautiful, of course. And then also, let me see. You have Nino Cerrucci. Okay, so this is a designer called Nino Cerrucci. And he did Pretty Woman, but he also did Indecent Proposal, and I forget this actor's name. But this actor was in Indecent Proposal, and if you haven't seen that movie, let me get it focused. That's a really nice movie. Sad, but nice. I like that. He did like the suits for that movie, and like all these like beautiful suits. He did them. Not usually interested in suits, I'm just gonna be honest, but this was interesting to read about as well. So I could go on and on forever, but yeah.
Which one looks better, this one or that one?
They're both the same.
No, they're different.
This one I like better. I could go on and on forever about this book, but I will not do that because that would make this a million years long. Anyway, moving on. This is one that I haven't actually read. I haven't even opened it, but I really want to try it out. I don't even know if I'll have time to like read all these books in any kind of substantial amount because I have a lot of them and I only have them for like a few weeks. But this is going to be this is a biography by of Alexander McQueen, and he committed suicide in 2010 or 2011, and he was a genius. He was such an icon in fashion. He was such an, I don't even know how to say it, but like he had such a troubled life, and then he died, and then like everyone was shocked in the fashion world because like here was like this amazing talent that was suddenly gone. So this is this is a book that I think it explores his legacy, basically. It talks about him. It's his biography. And it's called Blood Beneath the Skin, and it's by Andrew Wilson. I haven't had a chance to even like look at it, let alone read it. However, I do want to do that. And then this book, I saved it for last because this is probably the one that I'm getting the most into. I've been really getting into this. This is by Lisa Eldridge. This is called Face Paint. It talks about the history of makeup. And if you don't know Lisa Eldridge, you need to know Lisa Eldridge. She is probably one of the most influential makeup artists in the world right now. She is really good. She knows so much stuff, and she has been like for quite some time very interested in the history of makeup. She actually collects like antique makeup, I believe. I think she does. But she released this biography, well, not this biography, this history book in 2015 called Face Paint, and I wanted to get it so bad. For some reason, I didn't. I mean, it's not that expensive, but like I didn't get it, and I actually went to Barnes and Nobles, and I used to do this a lot. Now I don't have time to do this. But I went to Barnes & Nobles and I sat down for 2 hours and I was reading this book. I didn't finish it, but I read a lot of it. And then I saw it like in the library in my school, and I was like, I need it. So I ended up checking it out, and I'm really much into this. I actually do want to learn more about makeup history. I mean, I know a substantial amount, but I don't know as much as I want to know. So this is something that I'm very much into. I'm really excited about this. I've read most of it already. So yes, that was pretty much it for this video. I've been filming for way too long, but this is the end of like this installment of Saturdays with Anya. Katya, what do you think? Do you think it's too cheesy? Do you think it's too cheesy to say Saturdays with Anya if I'm just doing a casual video?
No.
She likes it, so I like it too. So anyway, that is the end of this video. Let me know if you want to see like more kinds of casual videos like this. I'll probably post it even if no one says anything because I am my own person. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. Thank you so much for watching till the end. Because if you did, you're a superstar, and I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.